Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I'm streaming from my phone. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm gonna pull up the chat on my computer. So feel free to, um, yeah, feel free to just talk and chat. Um, Also, you can't see my computer, so this is gonna be interesting.
You for the $300 to share.
Okay, I have the chat now. All right, so today we're going to be building, uh, yeah, we're going to be assembling this board. So here it is. And what this board is, at a high level, I want to connect all my equipment to my test boards pretty easily. And it's just the probes, like to probe your board is just kind of tedious. You know, you gotta like it's just really difficult to plug things together physically sometimes. Especially when we're dealing with electronics, you're trying to go like high density, keep things really tight. So the concept I'm working with is when I do a prototype run, I'm gonna sacrifice layer count. I'm just gonna bump it up to the next layer. Like if I'm doing a 2 layer board, I'll do 4 layer. If I'm doing four, I'll do six. And that incurs some extra cost and time. But it's worth it to be able to test your board easily. And with those extra 4 layers, I'm going to be able to have signals go to a JST connector, or sorry, FPC cable. So here, I bought hella of these FPC connectors because this is for all my test boards. I just put this one part on, and I have access to my entire suite of tools. So yeah, that's just the design process today. So welcome. Feel free to chat next here, ask any questions. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna start assembling this and ask me any questions about the project. Let me put the project in the link. Sorry, let me put the project link in chat so you all can access it and see what's going on. The first thing, so there's a lot of through-hole components on this board, meaning I have to solder a bunch of through-hole components, but there are also a lot of SMD components. By a lot of, I mean five five unique components multiplied like 12 times. Um, so we're gonna start with the surface mount components. Let me know if you can't really see what's going on. I can lower my camera a bit. I kind of want to get a better angle here. Um, oh no. Okay. How's that? I know it's a lot more satisfying to be able to see what's going on in the layout. So yeah, uh, PCB assembly, surface mount assembly is pretty easy. Uh, the main thing you need is a stencil, and let's prepare all our parts. So the main thing we have to assemble are these probes. Basically, my logic analyzer, I'm gonna plug into here, and well, one, I have to populate the connector for it, and two, I basically recreated the probes over here. Um, they're these tiny little passives. I think it's like a 500 ohm resistor with a 100K, like a resistor divider and a parallel capacitor for, uh, I think some like bandwidth filtering or something. But yeah, that's basically all it is. I'm gonna pull up the data on my screen. So it's hard to see the display and the board at the same time. So the large component, we're looking at C1 is a, how come I can't see its value? C1, R1, R2. Okay, so here's C1, it's 100 picofarad. Here's R2, it's a 500 ohm. And what else do we need? 47 picofarad. This is just in case I wanted to go to a lower capacitance. I wonder, I'll stick with 100 pico, but no, maybe I should do 47. Okay, I'm gonna put 47 picofarad here, and I'm gonna label it on the board. And I want to test both of them. So we don't actually know the capacitance of the probe. Um, Let me grab my I need to set up like a lab. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing 47 picofarad probes. So I'll write that on the board up here. 47 picofarads. That way I know this board is specifically the probes with 47. And I just have to find my last passive component. Here's some through-hole components. These actually don't need to be soldered. These are like banana jacks. Pretty standard. I kind of want to fit them first to see how good the fitment is. Oh, here, I need to solder that. We need to solder this. Huh. Wait, where's my last bag of passives? Oh, I'm missing a 100 kilo ohm resistor. One sec. Let me pull up the design. This would be really bad if I'm missing a part. Um, so here are all the passives we need, and then here's the BNC connectors. That's a through hole. Yeah, okay, so I just need 100 kilo ohm resistors. I swear if I was like, hey, I just have 100 Ks, I'm just not gonna order them. I'd be so sad. Yeah, these are FPC cables. This can't be all my parts. Wait, this is so bad. I'm missing like one part. Um, I know for a fact I've purchased I have 0402 100K. I swear if this like stops me from assembling the board. Has this ever happened to you guys? It's like just the last piece. I'd be so sad if I threw it out with the box all the parts came in, because sometimes that happens. I guess I'm gonna have to hunt for 100K resistors. This is everything I got. Wow. Okay. I have these like probes, which don't really do anything. Let's dive into my extra box of parts. It might be in here. I would be so blessed if it's in here. Um, okay, so we have, oh, I have these PMS 150Cs. These are 3-cent microcontrollers. I think you could only program them once, and I wanted to play with those. No, that's for another video though. Damn it. Okay, this is so frustrating. This is like a 10-cent part, and it's stopping me from building the board. Um, Here, I need to think. What projects have I used a 100K resistor on? Let me bring you up to my screen. Okay, so this is actually how I do my inventory system, so you could get a little bit of insight into how I do inventory, but I don't keep an inventory of everything I have because I just know what projects I've built. And in those projects, I'll remember as like, hey, you know what? I think I used 100K there. Um, and that's basically what I'm doing right now. Here, let's see. It's also possible. So, uh, if you go into the object tree and search for 100K, oh, I do have an 100K in this project, R3. You better hope no, it's not. It's a 28K. Okay, so not this. I have one. Whoa, what's going on with my mouse? Okay. I'm gonna check the bag with another project I did because when I'm sorting these parts, you get an order, you like bundle up a bunch of parts. Um, on air R3. I'm like pretty confident it's in this bag. So once I get this part, we'll be ready to start assembling. I can't believe this is the hardest part about hardware. Honestly, I was like, the hardest part about hardware is you have to get out of your chair. Like honestly, that adds so much complexity, or it just like slows things down so much because it's much easier to stay in your chair, you know? Um, oh, I found it. Perfect. Here are the 100Ks. And I think they're 042. Yeah, these are 042s. Okay, now we have everything. I think I labeled it wrong because I said on air 100Ks, but I obviously meant to share them across these two projects. So I also, when I buy parts, I don't buy like a big reel and then just reference it. It's so worth it to just spend like 30 cents more and then have your, um, it's so worth it to just spend 30 cents more and have the components shipped to you in a bag for organizational purposes. Okay, so I feel like I've done this on stream a couple times. Um, this is pretty standard. However, we have our all our parts that we're assembling. Let's put everything else back in the bag. Oh, and the FEC connector. How can I forget about that? Yeah, we need to assemble that. Um, some of these. All right. I have a microscope and a whole setup for this, but I'll just do my desk this time. It's not a big deal. How do you guys assemble your boards? Let me know. Alright. This is just more for documentation purposes. Alright, so tweezers are very important. I kind of want to invest in a nicer set of tweezers. These are already really nice. Um, just the cheap ones you get on Amazon. Such a lifesaver. Like, especially when you don't damage the tips, they're actually pretty fine. And what's next? We need solder paste. So I have some in the fridge. I'm gonna use the solder paste in the fridge first. And we also need a blade to wipe all the solder paste. So let me get that solder paste. I just keep this next to all my drinks. Um, but that's why I double bag it because there's you know, lead in here and other copious chemicals. And I don't actually have a knife, so let's open up the stencil. Once you do this process a million times, it just becomes like second nature, but I still screw up from time to time. And there you go. Okay, so there's not much to it, right? Like these are the only parts we have to stencil. And what I find kind of annoying is they always put the stencil on like inverted, so you have to take off the tape and put it on again. Um, Also, what's weird to me is they laser etch the name on the bottom side. Arguably that's better. I'm just like, what if it makes the surface not flat? Who knows? Okay, so one trick, I always share this on stream, but I always ask, oh no, they actually put it on the right side this time. I always ask PCB way to cut down the stencil to the appropriate size, and I'm actually really appreciative that they do that every time. So this way you could just align it with your board and you don't have to, worry about like you set up like all your five PCBs around your stencil and you're like struggling there trying to align it and everything. So let's go. Um, this tape is still really helpful. This is probably the easiest board I'll ever stencil. Look how much like free space we have just to hold on to it. That's honestly one of the hardest parts about this is when you have a board that's so dense, there's like parts up to the edge. You can't even hold on to the stencil. I think that's why it's helpful to when you do prototyping runs, just to make it a larger footprint, you know. I mean, part of the like half the whole point of prototyping with PCBs is you get insights into the form factor. So I'm thinking about like a breakaway format where I have these FPC connectors on a like a separate part of the board that you can just snap off with when you're done prototyping. Because realistically, when you're testing your product, you're not really integrating it and trying to use it all that much. It's similar to what the Nucleos do. Um, ST's Nucleo 64s, 128s, all those things. Okay, so it looks pretty aligned. Um, could be better, but you know, I think it's got a, eh, it's fine. How's that look? Yeah, that looks good. Um, you just have to hold on to it and make sure you can lift it up because you know you can align it really nicely, but if you don't lift it up properly, it's just gonna smear your solder paste everywhere. So we're ready to paste. Let's open up our bag, um, our toxic lead, and just smear that everywhere. I'm not gonna smear it on the test points because I forgot to buy the test points. Ordering parts is so annoying. Like, I want to bundle up parts to save money on shipping, and then I forget to go bundle the parts, and I totally forgot to order the parts on DigiKey for these surface mount test points. So I'm gonna have to take the L, order it later, and then surface mount them again myself. Okay, this should be plenty of solder paste. I usually put way too much, but you know, solder paste isn't that expensive. Um, okay, so looks good. Ooh, and I like to have a spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol ready because also is my mic working? Oh, my mic is working. I have a bottle of isopropyl alcohol ready because um, I like to clean my stencils just in case I use them again, which I never ever do. In my experience, you think you're gonna use your stencil again? Yeah, no, you're never gonna touch that thing ever again. But it's still nice to keep it clean, just so you can handle it. Might as well throw it away if you're not gonna clean it. Yeah, let me put my solder paste back. I don't think I need it again. We have plenty on the board. Uh, yeah, you know, do what I say, not what I do. You should wear gloves during this process. But this board is pretty clean, so I'm just gonna send it. Oh, this smells interesting. It reminds me of like when I was a child, and you go camping, you know those like propane, oh no, like jet fuel, those burners you have to pump, um, before like portable propane canisters, you have to like pump your fuel and pressurize it, on the camping stove. And for some reason, I got a whiff of that here, which is really weird. It was like solder paste, not like kerosene. And I think the fuel we used was kerosene because it's like more stable, which is what they use in jet fuel. It's like the primary base. Um, okay, we're done. That was easy. Again, this is like the easiest board I've ever pasted. Ah, damn it. So I lifted it up and kind of screwed it up. That's what I was talking about. It's honestly not that bad. So here, let me bring it up to the camera. It's not that bad. The the thing that matters the most is J10, that FPC connector. And it looks all right. The rest of the connectors are kind of trash, but the solder mask is really gonna save us there. So I'm gonna say it's all right. You know, it gets as pasty anyways when you start to reflow it. It just becomes like super liquidy. So I'm gonna go clean this, get my spray bottle, my alcohol spray bottle. Um, and always keep like paper uh, handy, like paper towels. Um, I don't know what you guys use like professionally, but I had like everyone uses Kim wipes, right? Kim wipes are supposed to be not linty, but in my experience, I think they're worse than uh just regular kitchen towels, like bath towels. I've used I've used Kim wipes a lot and they leave lint everywhere. So I don't know how they can manufacture these like lint-free um things and paper tissues and sell so much of it. Maybe it's like a lint-free, it's like lint-free in a different way that I don't understand. It just leaves crap all over my boards. Um, so I don't bother. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble. We got all the parts. Oh, I do want to clean the blade too. Yeah, it's nice to have a clean blade every time. Okay, so one sec. I'm just leaving one extra strip just in case I need it again. And I'm gonna throw out the solder paste. Yeah, I don't usually do self-assembly um, because it's so time consuming, but it's pretty relaxing every once in a while. So let's pull up the schematic. Let's pull up the layout. Oh, right. I just turned off my Bluetooth on my computer and now I can't use it anymore. That's fun. Okay. Okay, let me turn it on again. I think because it disconnects the mic. Okay, I think it just disconnected the mic, which is really annoying. Um, how do I disconnect just my AirPods? Okay, there you go. We should be back in business. Um, anyways, so for some reason this is placed upside down. But so top right, I mean, you can't screw this up. It's in parallel. So C1, R1. C1 goes on top, and then R1, and then R2. So let's just put C1s, 47 picos. Unfortunately, these are 0402s. Uh, I think I wanted to keep them 0402 just to be, what? This is not an 0402. Damn it, I bought 0603s. Okay, I guess I have to use the 100 picos. So these aren't even an option. Yeah, these are 0402s. Okay, so I guess I have to erase this. Good thing I kept the extra uh, tissues. I'm just gonna keep the bottle of alcohol here. The isopropyl. Yeah, I guess on stream you get to see all the stuff that goes wrong in hardware design. Because once I make a video out of this, it's just gonna be the time lapse of everything going right. Um, nice. Oh, now my board looks like crap. Where I wiped off. Blah. I got alcohol in my eyes. Oh, that stinks. Okay. Okay. Got that off. Um, let's start putting these on. Always check the package sizes. I could have sworn. I was like, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, is this 0402? Is this 100 picofarad? But whatever. We have what we need, so I'm not mad. The estimated capacitance was 100 picofarads anyways. So, okay. Where'd the third one go? There are three capacitors. I only see two. Oh, it fell over here. Sometimes I'm really scared that if you assemble boards too much, you're going to drop an 0402, and then you can't pick up random capacitors you see lying around. Oh, that's not too bad. I should bust out the microscope so you can see this better. Um, okay, I'm gonna place these three capacitors, and then I'm gonna get out the microscope. Uh, but I noticed the microscope slows me down because there's no perception of 3D depth. And then you can see it in so much detail that you just want it to be perfect. When reflow, it doesn't really have to be that perfect for 04 into and up. So here, let's get this microscope out. Shit. Okay. Let's see if, oh, it's not in frame. Here, one sec. Everything's kind of blurry. I haven't done this for my phone in a while. I feel like my old setup was better. Let me know what you guys think, because you have a reference to both. Hello? Please focus. Focus? Focus? It's so out of focus. This is so frustrating. Yeah, don't stream on Twitch from your camera. And now my microscope is not turning on. There you go. Okay. Furk80, hey, how's it going? Hey, Furkan. Pretty good. How about you? Glad to see you join. Oh, there you go. There are the capacitors. Okay. I'm good. Back home. Oh yeah, from Japan. How was that trip? I'm still kind of jealous and really happy for you. Have you gotten the samples? You know what? No, I think something happened in shipping. I still haven't received them, which is weird. I was like, it hasn't gotten here just like 2 weeks ago. So I, yeah, I think something went wrong in shipping. Let me know if you still have samples and if you have a soldering iron, because maybe that's enough. I did happen to get a CNC and a laser cutter and a laser, so I might be able to recreate it, although it would be really nice. It's still stuck in customs? Damn. Ah, shit. Yeah, the tracking link didn't work for me either. Ah, thank you. Thanks for checking. The page just like breaks. I think maybe because I'm logging in from the US or something. Um, but damn, that sucks. Uh, I guess I could look into it and like call them to see what we can do. But yo, about Japan, did you buy anything? Any cool electronics? Bring them home? I remember when I came down to California, I brought all my electronics with me, and it was like going through border inspection, there were like electronics hidden between my clothes, and they were like, "What is this?" It was like so sus. Oh, that's awesome. Two GameCube controllers. Do you have a GameCube, or are you gonna like modify it? I know Robert Dale Smith, he's in our community. He makes like those GameCube adapters or controller adapters. Super cool. Um, yeah, and I love like retro kind of game. I think everyone's into it at least a little bit. It's all part of our childhood. It's gonna be funny thinking like this was like retro hardware for us. But in the future, people are gonna be buying like RTX 480s and like, oh, retro gaming. Remember when gaming was like three-dimensional on flat screens? They checked my bag and fold my clothes better than the man. I have a Wii. Oh, dude, Wii's are the best. That was like prime gaming right there. Wii Sports, one of my favorite games ever. There's so many other games, but Wii Sports, like, there was always room for that like saber game. Um, that's actually so funny. They folded your clothes better. I'm assuming this is at the Japanese airport. Yeah, I cannot fold my clothes that well. It's amazing. Oh no. Okay, there's capacitors in there. Yeah, it was in Tokyo. Classic. I feel like that's like so on brand in the nicest way. Uh, for them to fold your clothes so perfectly. I I read that book about like cleaning up your life, and it's basically like a minimalist philosophy book. It's great for having less clutter, but it's not great when you're streaming because everything is everywhere and it's so hard to grab everything. It's more like be creative with what you have so you don't have to buy more stuff. Um, oh God, this poor little capacitor. I notice I'm like depositing so much like paste on it as I'm putting them down. Yeah, Japanese really likes the minimalist lifestyle. I CFW'd my Wii and loaded the games I have to SD card. Ooh. Is that how you then played on your PC? I don't know. I haven't modded my Wii that much. I think I did when I was really young. I like installed homebrew, and tried getting games for free, of course. Okay, onto the resistors. Oh no, just homebrew. Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think I did a similar thing. Um, Also, not a hot take because other people agree with me, but the form factor on the Wii is just so good. I feel like one of the best form factors for gaming consoles. Uh, I saw this guy on YouTube like put a Mac Mini inside a Wii console, and that was like just like a Wii console chassis, and that was super cool. And I feel like that embodies it just shows off how good it is. Okay, 100K. Dude, GameCube controllers, that's awesome. Actually in Canada, so I grew up in Canada, the uh, the McDonald's had GameCubes, and I remember every time, like the Play Place. It is, but I think the GameCube looks cool too. Yeah, agreed. They like peak design was back then. Now consoles look super weird. But I'm just old. But yeah, even the McDonald's with GameCubes, I remember playing like Sonic or whatever. That was super fun. Okay. Do McDonald's still have play places in Japan, or I believe you're based in Germany? I can't remember because they got rid of those a long time ago. I wonder if it's like a global thing. PS5 is trash design. Agreed. Agreed. I know what happened. Design, like whatever is happening to design now is so weird. It's like this weird minimalist, but not really. No, they closed in Germany down to Japan also. Yeah, I figured it's a global thing. Like, just doesn't make sense across humanity to host playgrounds for kids. Um, okay. On the microscope, I just see how shaky I am. They had ballparks when I grew up. Damn, at McDonald's? That's insane. That's super cool. Oh no, there's hair. Yeah. Damn. That's really cool. Ballparks at McDonald's. Would never imagine. Oh, I hate when the resistor gets stuck on your tweezers. This is so frustrating. Okay, reset. And I'm gonna clean my tweezers. I haven't done. I feel like I get rustier and rustier every time uh, I do assembly. Ferg80 says your AliExpress PSU came, the one in the background. Yes, it did. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, this one. Dude, it's so cool. I think this cable reaches just enough for me to power it for you to see. It's really funny because there's two ports, and I don't know which one's power. I think this one. Yeah, this thing's awesome. You can set like constant current. You can set. I can't remember. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait. You hold the the UI for these things is complete trash. CC. Yeah, you could do constant resistance, constant power, constant voltage, constant current. Yeah, this thing's awesome. The only thing, I think it only operates for zero point 0.2 amps and up, and it goes up to like 300 watts, I think. Or no, 150 watts. Does it have more power than lab PSUs? Oh, sorry. This isn't a PSU. This is an electronic load. Um, my PSU is still my trusty Rigol DP 832. Here, I, I think you're familiar with these ones. Um, so yeah, no, it's not a PSU. My bad. I've never messed around with AliExpress PSUs. Maybe I should buy one to try it out to see if it's like viable. But do you have an AliExpress PSU or like a Chinese one? I just like have no experience with it. Oh, actually, I did have an Amazon PSU for the longest time. Um, I just needed more channels, so I got the Rigol. Plus, I've used the Rigol a lot. I like its interface, and I think it regulates. It's kind of slow at regulating, but eh. And it's like calibrated nicely. So, but I don't doubt that the Chinese ones are also really good. You just have to deal with a clunky interface sometimes. Like, yeah, the interface on that one's kind of clunky. It gets the job done though when you want to do testing. And I guess that load works well with this board because didn't I just clean this? Um, because I sometimes like when you test your power electronic circuits, the only thing you can really test is like no load condition. But with a programmable load, now you can do an actual sweep. Um, oh, we call China PSUs China crackers like fireworks because they always explode. Oh, that's actually so funny. Okay, that's really good to know from somebody who has like professional experience, using them extensively. It's one thing to turn it on every like month, and it's another to have to rely on it. I can totally see that them exploding all the time. That's pretty funny. Um, Now I know not to buy them. Yeah. I mean, when you look at what's inside, it's just, the I suspect the capacitors, the electrolytic capacitors, they ex use those extensively. And those electrolytics are something I would buy from a reputable brand because they're not, I think the manufacturing process isn't as easy to nail down perfectly, like to be precise with. And also, the result, if you have a defective electrolytic cap, the consequences are much higher than, ceramic caps. That's probably why they explode. Like they leak juice, and then the electrolytics in the capacitor is like conductive and creates a short. That's not always why they fail, but cheap caps, it happens. Um, I mean, I put cheap caps on my design, so. But I don't use electrolytics. I haven't had to use electrolytics in a long time, and I'm really grateful for that. Electrolytics are just not great. High ESR. I still haven't gotten why high ESR is like high equivalent series resistance. But like, don't you want high ESR, or is it they have low ESR? Because if it's series resistance, you want it to You want it to be high, right? But don't they say like the good caps are low ASR caps? I'm so confused because if you're using your capacitor in parallel with your load, in theory you want it to be infinite impedance, or infinite resistance. Crap, I can't see this resistor. Uh, okay, we'll fix that if we have to, but I think it's pretty good. Looks all right. Okay, now the easy part. Had some PC PSU smoking at home too. Oh no, that's awful. Yeah, that's super bad. Um, and those actually get stressed, you know. I guess they had the same fault you explained. Yeah, the electrolytic juice. That sucks. You're like playing video games, just using your computer, and it just smells. It's like, what's that smell? The I have had pretty good luck with Chinese parts exploding. The only thing that exploded, which is actually really dangerous, is a lithium ion battery. And it didn't really explode. So I was just charging it with my project and it started to overheat and release smoke. And I was like, what's that smell? But it didn't catch on fire. I was really lucky. I don't know how it failed and why it failed so non-catastrophically, but it just got up to like 60 degrees Celsius. And because I measured with a thermal camera, and that was it. It just really smoked, but it didn't catch fire. I was like, I'm so glad it didn't burn the apartment down because lithium fires are. I don't even know if I have a fire extinguisher. Now I think about it, I feel like I'm the first person in this apartment that should own a fire extinguisher. Um, it's pretty funny. Okay, now I have 0805 resistors. These are a breeze. Um, if it got air, you shouldn't be able to extinguish it. Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chemical fires are notoriously hard to put out. You're right. I forgot about that. So, I guess I'm just saving space by not owning a fire extinguisher. I feel like the most likely cause of fire in my apartment is a lithium fire. Gonna be honest. Uh, yeah. Like I was curious how do you even mitigate against lithium fires? Like my um my e-bike has a lot of lithium ion batteries. And yeah, I just don't know what the techniques are. I have to go learn about them. Granulate, it's cheap. Oh, I get some fire extinguishing balls for lithium batteries. Oh, that's super cool. You know what? I'm gonna type that in my tab right now. Granulate fire extinguish. That's awesome. Oh, whoa, that's so cool. I know you can't see what's on my screen, but I just searched up what you recommended, and that is awesome. Very, very helpful. Very good to know. Also, now all my resistors, because these are big enough you can see them, I have to put them the same way, just out of like OC. Like the five has to be on the right now. I don't bother when it's like really tiny resistors, but for the 0805, that's like visible with the naked eye. Um, Also, I don't know if you heard that, but you can set your Slack sound to hummus to say hummus. It's just like a set. It's like a default setting. You can it's there's just somebody saying the word hummus in Slack, which is pretty funny. When I first did that, it like gave me a heart attack every time I got a message. Like, what is that? But then your brain starts to recognize it. Um, okay. Ooh, that one looks good. Yeah. I Oh shit. Tombstone before it even got assembled. Hey, let me focus on this one. I'm trying to build the ultimate test, like the ultimate. What am I assembling? Oh yeah, yeah. Great, great time to ask. I'm assembling the test interface board. So this is the board that's gonna help me accelerate my testing. Basically, this it bottles all my test equipment. So my power supply, my oscilloscope, the programmable load, my logic analyzer, all into this little FPC connector, which I'm actually going to grab one of right now because we have to put that on. So this FPC connector is, instead of having to connect my equipment to my tiny little PCB in a non-standardized way every time, which is a pain in the ass, all I have to do is connect one little FPC connector into my any board that I'm developing in the future, and now I have access to all the signals. I can check. I can check it on the oscilloscope. I can check on the logic analyzer. Uh, that's a theory, and I want to be able to make PCBs at home and test them very quickly. And basically, the only bottleneck now will be shipping on parts, and shipping parts is very fast. So yeah, another thing I've been working on, which I could give you a sneak peek of after this, is that I think a couple streams ago, I was trying to expose PCBs, expose like pre-sensitized copper PCBs with a resin printer. And after hours of figuring out, like hunting down tools to manipulate the data, I actually got it to display an image. So like a PCB image, a custom Gerber, and I'm pretty excited. So in theory, I want to be able to build PCBs at home in 2 days or less, and then test them with minimal effort. And I think that's one of the hardest things. Um, when I did board design professionally, it was like so freaking hard to get things built up quickly and to test them. So that's a problem I'm trying to fix. That's a problem I think hardware engineering has, is the iteration speed. Okay. The paste on this isn't that amazing, but let's line it up. UV etching a PCB, yes, yes. After I put this connector on, let me show you what I mean. Oh God. You know, that's actually pretty good. That's like almost perfect. Okay, that is the FBC connectors on. Um, I can actually just move my camera. So let me turn on my UV printer. This is actually kind of ghetto. Here, FERC 80. So there's the UV printer, and um, I figured out that, okay, so here's what I have right now. To get it started, there's like this photo gate it uses, so I just put something in there, and that like tells it it's homed. Wait, I think this might be the wrong project. Let me try again. First test CTPC. I think that should be it. Um, yeah, that should be the one. Okay, I think I just have to home it quickly. So let's hit the design, print, and then close the photo gate. Okay, check that out. Look at that. Oh, be careful with UV in your eyes. Yeah, my bad. Smart. Okay, you guys are looking at not me. But yeah, that's a demo. That's a PCB right there. And yeah, I don't want to look at the UV too much. Hope you can see it. I didn't see what the camera was seeing. But that's, and then okay, and then check it out. Here's the CNC I got. So here's the 3080. I also got I have a laser module that I'm going to 3D print a mount for. So I'm also going to try, if those things never get past custom, um, which is really a bummer. I really hope they do. I'm going to call them and try to get that figured out. But if they never get past customs, then worst case scenario, I'm going to try to laser etch Kapton too. But yeah, kind of an L. Okay, last two components, and then we're on to the through-hole parts. So these ones are super easy. They're just connectors. Uh, yeah, I should probably get UV goggles. It's a good point. Um, this thing looks so tiny. I'm kind of, there's no way this fit. Wait, wait, did I order the right part? Oh wow, it actually does fit. All right, nice setup. I will think it will go through. Thank you. Thanks, Berk. Um, Berkan. I also hope it goes through. It's kind of tedious, but I want to prove it out first. I would call DHL. It's stuck at USPS. Oh, classic. Yeah, USPS sucks ass. Understandable. Um, that's yeah. It's a really manual process to build boards this way, but I want to prove it out, and hopefully, my dream is to one day turn it into a platform that anyone can use and build really easily. It's like the hardware for it exists and it's possible, you know. Once you prove it's possible, people believe, and it's just gonna happen. Ah, check it out. All the surface mount parts are done. Okay, now I'm ready to reflow. This part, you have to bear with me. This part is involves going outside, which always gets a little messy. Let's go set up the hot plate as we've done before on the stream. I am moving very soon, so uh, maybe in a few streams in the new year, you will you'll see a proper garage setup, and then I don't have to do all this like shuffling around. Yeah. So, but I mean, I want to make electronics as accessible as possible, so I want to show everyone that you can do it without a nice setup. This is literally a hot plate I got in college to cook instant noodles. Um, and now it's what I use for building PCBs because I got an induction stove. Actually, induction stove would be cool because you could cook food. That would be the ultimate minimalist setup. You could cook food with it, and then you just put on a different head. Yeah, multi-purpose hot plate. After cooking PCBs on this, I don't use it to make ramen anymore. But if you had an induction stove, you have like a plate that you use just for PCBs. Um, and it would be even cooler if you could control the temperature curve on the induction stove. You know what? That could be a project. Like um, a hot plate, induction hot plate, you can program temperature curves onto. Because imagine you could just like cook your food. You could just like set the temperature curve on your food to cook it perfectly. But I'm not a food scientist, so I don't know much about that. Hang on in there. I'm getting the PCB. It's also nice to do this outside, so none of the fumes get into the house. Um, and then some people care a lot about temperature curves. That would be awesome to customize your heating curve. Yeah, I feel like cooking companies have kind of tried this, but always fail for some reason or the other. I imagine sharing hot plate configs. Yeah, exactly. Like, sometimes you cook food and you realize there's like that perfect timing for it. So yeah, like a cooking platform. I think that's what they tried in like making Instant Pot, but it's just the configurability is not that great. It's just like time, like you could set time manually, but like curves is a lot harder to do, especially if you're like doing baking and stuff. I can imagine it being really helpful for baking, like an infrared oven. Yeah, you just repurpose infrared ovens for PCBs for cooking. So you can really finely tune the temperature there, and then you can like hold it at a certain temperature so the carbon dioxide bakes just at the right amount, and it never like burns your pie. And the last like 3 seconds, it goes into broil mode and gives you that nice crisp. I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel like that would be really cool. Okay, let's crank up the temp. I think this is like how I configure my my heating curve. You just twist this knob right here when you feel like it. It's pretty imprecise. What if I get the camera closer? Over engineering is a German superpower. That's my favorite quote of all time. It's actually so funny. Um, that that is super on brand. I agree with you. But that's how you get really good products, over engineered, um, amazing hardware. Like this, there, yeah, it's funny, and like I think under minimal engineering is a Chinese superpower. If you look at, I'm looking at PCB mills, and the 3018 from China is like $150 and complete trash. Like it vibrates everywhere. It's hard to make a PCB well on it. But then like the German CNC, portable CNC from Wegster is, it just looks so good. Like the cuts it makes, I don't even know how they do it. I worked on my cars, and I'm always amazed how much effort they put in. Oh, starting to smoke. Yeah, that's true. Compared to other cars, agreed. I used to work in a car shop, but I think the mechanic only serviced like Hondas and Mercedes, so Japanese also along the same line, also very good. Okay, this part is already soldered on. Yeah, I know it looks so good. Also, some like BMWs, there's so much plastic. It looks so good when you open the engine bay, but it's hard to work on. Oh, I should get my tweezers so I could grab this. What's your favorite car? You know, I'm a fan of simplicity, so I'm gonna have to go with Tesla. I have a Model Y, and I would not. Yeah, I just like how simple electric is. There's nothing that goes wrong with it. Like I remember learning about engines and was like, basically to fix one thing, you have this other thing, and then like another valve to fix that, and another cam mechanism to fix the problems imposed by that system. And it's just like so complicated. I mean, like simplicity and complexity is completely subjective, but there's just less moving parts in an electric car. Yeah, Model Y is super clean. It is a very nice car, but I think Corvettes look really nice. I like Porsches look really nice. I hate charging. Oh, interesting. If you live in a city, charging is super ass. But like in America, where everyone has like charging at home is really nice, but it's so expensive to get a garage. Um, LG Tosh says, "What'd you study in uni, bro?" Are you directing at me or Furkan? I study electrical engineering. I'm gonna say air quotes because they didn't teach me anything. But let's get this. Let's get these tweezers. I studied electrical engineering. I was not the best student. Um, Damn it. Is this on? I might have to reposition this. Whoa, what is the manufacturing about? The footprint is slightly off for this part. Oh, it's such an L. Oh, crap. What am I supposed to do about that? It's trying its best. Damn, this part sucks. Already don't finish EE, you endure it. Forget EE. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Factual statements. Oh, dude, this part sucks. I have to respin this board. That's such an L. I just have to not use. I love your content on Instagram. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to get some positive feedback. I learned to focus on the positive feedback and not the negative feedback, or just read between the lines. Um, yeah, it's like EE, you endure it. Um, yeah, university. I would recommend um, studying whatever you like. I'm currently taking E. What advice would you give me? Oh, cool. Uh, Build projects. Build a lot of projects because that's how you tie everything in together and learn what you like. It could be anything. Maybe you do want to go into the semiconductor industry, like make a tape out project. Um, Maybe you want to go into PCB design, just like build some PCBs. Whatever you're interested in, you should do it to know if you even like it or not. And yeah, that like don't get too caught up in what they teach you at school. It's like kind of important, but it's not something you should stress out about. Just like I think I would put your focus and uh, love into something you care about that's related to what you want to do. It's pretty generic advice. Sorry. Also, take math. I did a math minor, and that was really fun. It might not be the same case at like every school, but mathematics, once you get past, like all the calculation stuff, is like it's like kind of like philosophy, but it's really fun. Um, Recommend doing that. Here, let me get the PCB. So I'm gonna need these tweezers. Also, now is like a really good time to get into electronics. Everything's so freaking cheap. Like this setup did not cost me as much as it would cost me like 7 years ago. Um, so from an accessibility standpoint, I think now's a great time to get into projects. Like watch people's videos. Just if you don't know what you're doing, just recreate a project and you'll learn what you're supposed to be doing. Um, yeah, that's my advice. What are you? What year are you? ELG, Tosh. I think that matters too. Like if you're first year, that's better. The earlier you start, the better. It's not like what they teach you in school is bars you from learning anything. Like you can start whenever. I think you can get your first lab for $500 max. Second year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Second year is a great time. I think that's when I started building boards. That's a great time to get started. And then for 80, yeah, yeah, you could build your lab for $500. Very true. You could build as long like if you don't get all brand name stuff, you can get a pretty nice setup. Um, I also think it is worth getting your own setup because when you use other people's equipment, it just adds so much extra overhead. And it's like, hey, just like everyone's like, hey, just go into the lab and like use the oscilloscopes they have. But it's like, yeah, but now I have to like get on my bike. It's like I want to measure the voltage on this. Now I have to get on my bike with my board to school, find the lab, make sure like nobody's in there, like make sure all the rooms are open, and then like, oh shoot, I forgot this part, and I have to bike all the way home. It's just not realistic. So yeah, it's worth it to build your own lab. It's not mandatory, it's just nice if you can. Okay, so this was kind of a disaster. The solder here, actually, let's look at it under the microscope because this it's so much better at illustrating what um, what I'm trying to say. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to make this board again. Maybe buy some other parts. Kind of sucks that the part I bought, the footprint doesn't line up, but I could have sworn I checked the data sheet and this footprint, I made this footprint manually. So this should work. But you know what? Apparently I'm gonna have to remake it. Look at that. It's just like it's too short. That's the numbers they gave me in the data sheet are wrong. You can see it like up here. I mean that is being pulled. Here, let me get my tweezers. So this piece, this piece is being pulled down, um, and then these pins are aligned really nicely, and these pins are aligned really really nicely. I also, I think here's where temperature curve actually kind of matters because when I was reflowing this, I noticed that this all reflowed before the bottom rows. And now that we're looking at the bottom rows, like that pin is not even on the pad. These two pins are shorted to this one pad and these pins aren't touching this pad. So, I mean, this was a part I was really nervous about and I actually manually checked the data sheet and the data sheet was wrong. Um, one thing we can test though is if it fits the logic analyzer. So before I go remake this, let's plug in the logic analyzer. Um, Here is the DSView, the DSView logic analyzer I use. The FPC also, here, let's look at the FPC. Sorry, what I was checking was this part, which is the thing that the logic analyzer plugs into. Let's look at the FPC. FPC is also not great. Like, there's a few solder bridges, as you can see over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I should have I should have used less solder paste. I'm gonna make another board, probably in my spare time. Um, this is kind of an L. Yeah, those solder bridges. I'm gonna repaste it, and yeah, I wish I could have got a smaller stencil. I don't know what to do about this. These headers though. These are 1.27 millimeter headers. I guess the moment of truth is just plugging this in, seeing if it even fits. Um, Also, which way did it go? I think these were the grounds, so it's going this way. It also doesn't. Oh, okay, no, it fits pretty nicely. So this is what I had envisioned for the board. That's why you see this like little silk cutout, but the logic analyzer just like kind of floats in midair like this. And um, let's open some banana connectors, just so we could kind of get a vision for what this board looks like. Uh, let's see. Here's like fit checks. Like might as well fit check everything. Oh, the banana connectors sit pretty nicely. Um, I might have to wait for the new year to manufacture this board again. This sucks. Good thing I did a V1. Um, okay. So these will sit on like this, which isn't that bad. And I'll have 4 of them, or yeah, 8 of them. And then let's open the BNC connectors. So I was gonna manually solder these, like hand solder them, but that's not happening today because it's just wasted work on this board. Um, yeah, but yeah, for Katie, the FPC uh, connector, it is pretty small, so gotta be careful with the pasting. I'm gonna clean it next time I do the pasting. And this is what those BNC connectors look like. Oh no, is the footprint on these wrong too? No, okay, no, these are good. Okay, so this is kind of what the board is going to look like with all the parts on it. You're going to have this BNC connector. We're going to have a huge row of them. I kind of want to populate it for looks, just so I could take a picture of it. This would be kind of fun. I like photo shoots. So, um, sometimes a photo is more important than the project itself. Like if you just put the parts on it and like take a picture and show someone, they might be like, whoa, and then they'll like care about your project. So it is worth it to populate all these and then put them back. And these are such big parts, like it's not that hard to take off. Although this is not easy to manufacture. Like the tolerances on these BNC connectors aren't great because I mean, this was the cheapest BNC connector I could find, and it's literally like a coax cable in the middle. And I think they manually had to bend this or a machine bent it, but it's not bent perfectly. So you kind of have to do some like finagling to get it in here. It's so not great. And then when you have them as close together as I do, it's just even like worse. Oh God. It's so difficult to get them into the hole. Um, I think this is like, buying Chinese components is starting to bite me in the ass. The footprint didn't work for this one, but I can't blame it solely on the components. I mean, I checked the datasheet, so I expect to have problems with. Kind of a bummer. Um, I'm gonna double, triple check it, and uh, I'm debating if I should reorder the board or figure out some sort of like jank bypass. Uh, Assembling this is kind of fun. It's like building Lego. I think I feel like electronics at this level is like Lego for adults. Super fun. Okay. What's next? I'm just gonna keep populating this board until it's done. I love how this is saran wrapped. It's like sushi. China number one, but not for tolerances and quality. Yes, agreed. China number one in all other areas for price. The price cannot be beat. These were, I think, 50 cents. That was insane, but I'm paying the price now with my time. Um, yeah, I'm kind of into cycling. I kind of want to buy like a Chinese carbon frame. I really want to build my own electronic gear for bicycles, but they just don't need it. Like it's just extra weight and it doesn't add functionality. Oh, that one went in really nicely. Every like fifth part will have good enough tolerances and feel good. Um, but that's how the tolerances work. I still love that quote. Over engineering is a German superpower. Okay. I'm gonna end the stream early because this didn't go as planned. I've never had manufacturing problems, you know? This is the first time running into it. But, I guess I just got lucky all the other times I built something. Or I guess I got unlucky this time. And sometimes you just have to take that into account. You can't expect everything to go perfectly all the time. Well, I guess you can, but I wouldn't like bet on it, especially in hardware. Stupid stuff like this happens. Also, when you're buying like esoteric parts. Uh, Also, what's really funny, wait, I think you're gonna like this. I bought this copper cable. I think on stream I was talking about buying copper tape to shield the FPC connector. It's like, oh, I'm buying this to shield things after the fact. And the bag says, pay more attention to the detail in your life. So it's kind of like passive aggressively like, hmm, you're buying this copper tape. Should have paid more attention. Uh, I love that. Yeah, Furkan likes that too. I feel like I feel like they know. They have to know. Well, here's my opportunity to test everything. So paying attention. Pay attention now. I tried to get black, but then right when I put it in my cart, it got back ordered. So I'm like, are you serious? Red and yellow is the best I could find. I already like added the part to my design, so it's too late. Um, change your mind. And I want to 3D print a chassis for this. So in the next revision, I can make it better. LG Tosh. Yeah. I should put a link to that seller. I wonder if he puts like if they put messages on that in all their products. It'll be fun. Are you guys working on any projects right now? Like any personal projects? What's in the pipeline, you know? I really feel like I'm building Lego. This is like I saw someone building Lego on stream, which is awesome, and that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing right now. Except you get to design the set. I think that's why everyone likes breadboarding, assembly, PCB, like building PCBs. Just brings you back to the childhood days. Okay. Maybe I should sell like kits to build these projects, especially when they're this big. It's like you don't need that many advanced tools to screw these things together. Check that out. Noise. Okay. And I'm missing some headers, so I'm gonna put some headers in. It's almost complete. Currently busy with data analytics, first PCB with massive PoE. Oh, and smoke detection on hold. Oh, unfortunately. Oh, that sucks. But also, I do remember you asking about the PoE stuff, dude. Definitely keep us updated. I'd be down if to like review it and test it if you need. Um, I love collabing with other people, helping them with their on their projects. That is what? I bought the wrong. Wait, okay. I swear this is not me. I double triple checked that this was a 1x6, and it's a 1x8, and it doesn't fit. Ah! I have to do another board or part order. This is so frustrating. Oh my God. Okay, whatever. Just take the L here. For Katie, that'd be awesome. Yeah, yeah, dude. And if you do, if this board comes together, maybe you could add the FPC connector, and it would be a great case study. But I am ordering another case study board for this, so don't worry. Not the guinea pig. Okay, so I ordered. I swear to God, I triple checked these parts because I knew this would happen, and they sent me the wrong parts. This isn't the first time though. I've had LCSC ship me the wrong parts a couple times, and it's kind of frustrating. So I'm just have to reorder some parts. Uh, I think that's why a lot of people I know order the parts before they build the board, and now I understand why. That's like so smart. Cause then it's like, okay, now I know what goes together. That's like half the work. And then now I could design something knowing everything about it, and you can measure it too. Like I had the data sheet for this and I triple checked the data sheet, but if I can measure it, I have calipers. Like you can't argue with the real world, you know. Okay, is this good enough for a picture? I gotta like plug in some stuff to it and then snap a photo. I think I'm gonna end the stream soon, but before I do, let me just plug in my oscilloscope to show what that would look like so you could get a better idea. Instead of these probes, these oscilloscopes come with BNC connector probes. And this is a great time to test. Now that I have all the parts, it's a great time to test if everything actually connects the way I want it to. So I catch more stupid mistakes like this. Okay. I was like stressing out about creating a oscilloscope probe because I thought I would connect to it via BNC cable, but I'm so lucky these exist. And like you just put that on. You don't need this anymore. Get rid of that thing. These are atrocity. Um, it's just so hard to clip them somewhere on your board unless you have test points. Then you are a genius for putting test points on your PCB. But here, just like that. Yeah, that fits in perfectly. Look at that. And let's get the FPC cable. I'm actually curious how the FPC cable connects. Um, we could even put the copper tape on it. So there's a lot of crap going on right now. I apologize. I'm gonna have to spend some time cleaning up. Um, so let's put the copper tape on the FPC cable, which is here. Okay. I ordered FPC cable that went like double that switches sides, and I also ordered FPC cables that don't switch sides. So um, we have both options. This is the FPC cable that does switch like where the contacts are, and we just here let's zoom in. You can look at it under the microscope, but let me adjust the focus on that. I actually don't know which side the contacts are on. I think it's on the top. But yeah. Wait, I might be wrong. It's actually really cool seeing it on the microscope. Yeah, I think the contacts are on the bottom. Wait, you know what? I actually don't know. The contacts are on the top. So we would connect the FVC cable like this. Good thing I ordered both. I think though, we're using the wrong cable. We should use the cable where they're on the same side. Let me get my FVC cables. Throw this one away. I also swear to God, if these are the wrong size, I think uh, buying parts is so frustrating when they don't ship you the right one. Okay. See, this is why I kind of want to move to Shenzhen. Being able to just like physically browse for parts is so OP. Or I should just buy things from DigiKey from now on out. Okay, so they weren't actually even the same size, these FEC cables. But here, let's see them. Copper tape is for ground out FEC cable. Correct. I think in a previous stream I was looking at getting grounded FEC cables, but they were like $7 and I couldn't find a appropriate connector for it. So I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll just make it myself. And then ALG Tosh says, I study at a uni in Africa, so we still use breadboards in our project, but this is something I'd love to learn. Yeah, I really like Shenzhen Electronics District. I would love to go there. Me too, dude. That would be the best video ever. Best time ever. ALG Tosh, you study. Yeah. Breadboarding is super good way to get started. Uh, I mean, I still love breadboarding for learning. It's a very effective tool, and you can actually get PCBs like if get you can convince them to invest in a PCB mill or something. That would be really good because then you could start experimenting, building things up, and it just opens. I think with PCBs, it's not like there's something inherently better than breadboards. It's just it opens you up to so many more parts and components on the market because not many people build things in through-hole packages anymore, which is unfortunate. Um, I mean, modules. There's still a lot of modules you can buy, like SparkFun, Seed Studio, all those players, Adafruit. They're like doing the maker community a huge service. Um, would love to go. Yeah, Shenzhen Electronics. They should they should have field trips there. Like every electrical engineering program should give you a field trip to that district. Um, once the global economy gets more rich. How does this work? What the heck? What is this tape? I'm so confused. Okay, I'm gonna peel this off. Is this a protective layer? Okay, I think this is where the tape begins. Okay, this is kind of jank, but I'm gonna make it work. I have scissors. I come from Kenya. That's nice. I love that there's viewers from all over the world. It's so cool hearing everyone else's perspective on engineering and electronics. It's just there's only so much we can know and like keep in our brains at once. And on top of that, it's like when you're submerged in one culture, it's like just you get so blinded to things. So I think, yeah, I think one thing that's really cool about working at Flux is that the team is so diverse. That's one thing that you don't really get when you work in the Bay Area. It's just all like Bay Area people. So I do really enjoy working with people from all over the world. Um, let's see. Okay, so this tape, I have to admit, I've never actually used copper tape before. This is pretty cool. It's really funny because at Stanford, I think they have a circuit. Oh, Rex, Flux, totally agree. Open-mindedness is important. Yeah, yeah, being able to like improve your design that way too. Um, it's funny because at Stanford, I think they have a course where you cut copper tape to build circuits. Yeah, copper tape circuits is also a great way to learn. But then we were kind of like making fun of this kid who is like joined as an intern, and we had this thing that was like uh, copper tape. It's like a copper tape assembly process, and it's like, oh, he could do it. He has a Stanford degree at like taping at copper tape circuits. This is a lot easier than I thought it would be. You know, it's one thing to like imagine doing it, and it's another thing to actually do it. This is I was imagining this would be really difficult. I'm just wrapping an FPC cable with copper. And I do have this big ground shield, this ground thing, which I'm going to solder a wire to this copper, so it's not just like floating. It's actually referenced. Rex says Bay Area solves a lot of non-problems. It's great to look outside the bubble, dude. That's so true. Watching I watched a few episodes of Silicon Valley, and it's like, yeah, this is very accurate, and I feel personally attacked. Wow. Yeah, this is kind of fun. It's like arts and crafts with Mark. Okay, I think that's enough copper tape. But look at that. We just saved $6. I learned about it from Strange Parts on YouTube. Strange Parts is one of the best channels on YouTube. It's so good. Watching the factories and stuff, it's really eye-opening to see how these boards are made. Okay, they literally have everything on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is great. I learned a lot of stuff. Um, there's some people. There's all these great people like in the intersection between theory and like academics and like industry and building things. And there's just so much good stuff there. Like Robert Furnick interviews university professors, and they like talk about how you can actually implement their learnings on PCBs and stuff. And it's like this is so helpful. Yeah, it's not just a professor babbling on. Or Rex is saying they have a couple malls that are like 10 stories high each, just jam-packed with small vendors selling little doodads you find on Alibaba. Dude, that is amazing. Like, I was like, dude, they should make AliExpress in real life. Or I went to like a phone case mall, like a mall where they have like phone cases. And I was like, dude, it feels like AliExpress, but in real life, just seeing like everything there. I can't imagine that with electronics. That would be so exciting. Um, Super dope. Hey, check it out. So here's more of what the whole thing will look like. We got our copper shielded copper cable or FPC cable. We have our oscilloscope probes here, or our DS Logic probes. Um, it unfortunately does not work right now. It kind of works. These pins work, so I just have to not use channel 0. Um, you know what? This might be good enough for a prototype. And I have to solder some more connectors here. I think I actually have I have these parts sitting around somewhere. Oh yeah, Ferk 80. Watch the video where he added a headphone jack to iPhone. I saw that one. That one's amazing. Also, that's such a good video, adding the headphone jack back. Um, these are my last few headers, 1x6. Love that. Checking it out. Yes. Wait. Please. Yes, they fit. Okay, I got these before they went out of stock. I gotta place a DigiKey order. Okay. I feel like building hardware is so hard. Every time I build hardware, I'm like, oh wow, this is so fun and easy. And then if something goes wrong, and it's like, wow, this is so hard. Okay, here's the ESP32 programmer. Let me put this away because, oh god, this is so messy. I can't wait till I get an actual lab setup. Then I don't have to deal with this anymore. It's so messy. And then I can pay more attention to detail in my life. And so here's the ESP32 programmer. Basically, in this board, I have a pass-through. I'm just going to plug this in. Actually, I think it goes this way. But I plug this programmer in, and then I have these pins come out to attach to my board. And the logic analyzer will be able to intercept those signals. And I can actually take a look at what's going on, even though I know it's happening. It's just really nice to be able to see the signals when something goes wrong. So, I mean, that's like a pretty good idea of physically what the system is going to look like. I'm going to plug in a USB-C cable, take some photos, and post about it. But I think that's all I could do for the V1. V2 is gonna need some love. I think I might actually solder these and test it out. I have a buttload of these connectors, so there's no harm in actually using it. Oh, and I do have to resolder the FPC cable, or at least fix those bridges. Such a pain in the ass. I hate solder bridges. They're the worst things ever. So I'm gonna fix that before I solder this. And I want to 3D print a chassis. So I have these I have these holes, these mounting holes. I'm gonna 3D print a nice chassis and a nice like plate where I can mount the test board. Um, that's gonna need some CAD design. And one last thing I wanted to show you was how beautiful the plating is on this PCB. Like, just like these are some massive holes, and I know it's not focusing. Focus, focus. Okay, it's not. It's decided not to focus. Hey, doing this on my phone. Um, but the plating is just. Maybe I could show it under the microscope here, and then it has to be a bit orthogonal. Oh, that's so hard to see. Oh, you might be able to see some of that, but like I can't believe they could plate a hole so perfectly, and it's just so shiny. I like shiny things, so yeah. um, yeah, that's it for the stream today. I'm glad you got to watch. I love hanging out with you guys and just like chatting and chat, and you kind of see me build a Lego set together. Thanks, Rex. It looks amazing. Really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I hope it inspires you in a Lego set. Like love to answer any questions. Next stream. Can't wait to see it in action. Same, same. So gotta order the device under test board, and then we can see it work. I'm really excited if it actually works. Yeah. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for joining. Thank you.